All right. Today we're going to be talking about how you can close more deals in less time. I was talking to a consulting client of mine, and he was like, "Hey Jacob, how do I close more deals? A lot of my clients are not closing. I'm having trouble closing. I go through the proposal with them, or he tried closing them, a lot of them on the first phone call, and then he just for some reason can't close them. And I used to have the same problem, and I want to talk to you about how you can close more in less time in today's video. If you're new, please subscribe because we post sales and cold email videos every week and you can get a lot of value from it. And before I jump in, if you want to learn how to generate more leads for cold email, step by step, how to find the right companies, how to find the decision makers, how to find their emails and validate them, even if the normal tools that you use can't find them, I have a document that shows you step by step how to do it. Very, very short, punchy videos with some secret tips in there I haven't shown anywhere else. And one of my students actually managed to get his very first paying client after getting the document. So if you want to generate leads for cold email, or if you want to give it to a virtual assistant as a training document that can do it for you, click the link down below in the description and you can have that for free. And lastly, if you want my help with coaching, like sales coaching or cold email consulting, you can click the link below to book a call with me as well, and we can work together. That being said, here's how you close more deals in less time. So let's say you had a great discovery call, and if you want to know more about discovery calls, check out my video about how to run a discovery call. I've got 2 on my channel about it. But let's say you had a great discovery call, and you put together a perfect proposal, and you presented your proposal, and the prospect says, "This is awesome. Can you send it over so I can get back to you?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure." So then you send it over, and nothing happens. Weeks go by, months go by, and you hear nothing. So what happened? You didn't set the next step. You just sent the proposal and you had no idea what was going to happen after that, right? If you just send the proposal off into the oblivion expecting them to review it, sometimes they'll get back to you and they'll actually buy. That does happen. But most of the time they won't, especially if you don't have the next step. Because think about it, your prospect is busy. Your prospect has 1,000,001 things to do just like you. And are they really going to go through this proposal page by page by page? Especially if it's super long and full of garbage they don't care about, and then get back to you on it? No, they're not. And they're not going to understand it. They're probably going to skip through it, look at the price, and if the price is not in line with the value in their minds, they're not going to want to buy. And if they are reviewing the proposal themselves, their level of certainty won't be as high as yours, and you won't be able to convince them to buy. So how can you close more in less time and avoid the situation where you go through a discovery call, you spend all this time on the cold emails, you spend all this time on the discovery call, then you put together a proposal and you present the proposal and nothing happens? How can you close more deals and do it faster without letting these sales drag on for months where you have to follow up and follow up? You have to always know your next step, okay? You have to always know your next step. One of them is setting the next meeting, and another next step is actually just closing the deal. So how do you know the next step? You need to know what happens in your sales process. In my sales process, I cold email to get clients. I book myself a discovery meeting. Then I book a proposal call. And on the proposal call, and these are kind of phases, right? Like if I have a discovery call that runs long, I can book a second discovery call. I just have to be in the discovery part of the sale. The next stage is the proposal part of the sale. And then from there, you might go to a what's it called? A contract and then a close. And it depends on the person as well. For example, I have a client that's probably going to sign soon who we had a discovery call, 2 discovery calls so I could fully understand the situation. Then we had a proposal call. Then he wanted to think about it, the proposal, for a few weeks actually, which is fine. They can think about it. But if you just let them think about it without setting the next meeting, their level of certainty is going to go down until they speak to you again because you are the person that has to convince them to buy. So what I did when he wanted to think about it was I was like, sure, I'm more than happy to let you think about it. I asked him what he wanted to think about so I could help him think about it properly. And I asked him how long he would need to think about it and if he would want to discuss it with anybody. And he told me how long he wanted to think about it and what he's going to think about it. I said, great. How about we talk again at this time after you're done thinking about it so we can decide if we want to move forward or not? And he said, sure. So I booked the next call. We got on that call, and he said, hey, I still haven't really this happened, that happened, but let's talk tomorrow. So I booked the next call. And they said, hey, I want to move forward. Send over an agreement. And I said, sure. How about we schedule the next call for this Friday to go through that together? And he said, sure. He's the kind of guy who likes to take his time and go through all the details. So I always book the next meeting. But because I have the next meeting already on the calendar, it's logical that we're going to move forward because we're speaking to each other again and again. What I used to do is I used to send off my proposals. And I actually, this guy actually, funny enough, I made this exact mistake with this same prospect 6 months ago. And the only reason why he's back on the phone now is because I followed up with him over and over again. And he told me when to follow up with him, and I got him back on the phone. He tried doing it in-house, it didn't work out. Because last time I got on a discovery call, made a proposal for him and gave him the proposal, presented it to him. He said, this is great. And I said, awesome. I was a new sales guy. I was like, this is going to be awesome. And I didn't book the next meeting. And he kept emailing me and delaying about why he couldn't start, and he had to go over here and review with the team, and then Thanksgiving happened. And then eventually he decided to do it himself. And then he told me to follow up in the next quarter. So I did. And he said, follow up in 2 months. So I did. And he got on the phone. And we're going through the sales process again. But because I learned my lesson and I've had 6 months of mistakes, I learned how to avoid that. And this time I'm pretty confident he's going to buy. Now, it hasn't happened yet, but we're way closer than we were before. And I've done this with other clients too. So the way that you can close more in less time is to always know your next step, whether it's to close a deal right there or to move them to a contract call or to get them to onboard or whatever it is. You always need to know your next step, and more importantly, you always need to set the next meeting, because that way you're going to be able to continue having the conversation. If the prospect does not want to book another meeting with you, it probably means that you blew the deal anyway, and you can at least just know that they're not going to really buy and forget about it and move on, or just follow up in a while. But when you are able to lock in the next meeting, your likelihood of closing the sale is way higher. If you like this video, by the way, please give it a thumbs up. It will help me and help the YouTube algorithm a lot just by dispersing the content to more people so we can all make more money. So I really appreciate that. And let me know where you're having trouble in your sales process down in the comments below. Do you think that you're doing really good on proposals, and or do you think that you're doing well on discovery calls and just lose on the proposal, or do you think that you struggle more with discovery calls? Let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to help you out. And once again, if you want the lead generation training document, you can click the link in the description below to grab that for free. And if you want to book a coaching call with me, you can grab that as well. I just gave you like 5 CTAs, which is not good. So maybe I should work on giving one call to action at a time. But if you do all of it, I'll really love you. So anyway, hope this video helped you. Take it easy. Bye-bye.